Hello Formula 1 fans! This is a review video about the Tyrrell Honda in the 1991 Formula 1 season. The Tyrrell Honda is one of the best looking cars of the early 90s. If you like Formula 1 history, you are going to love this compilation video as well. I hope you enjoy the video. In the 1990 season, Tyrrell surprised everyone with consistently good performances. In the opening race of 1990, Jean Alesi and his Tyrrell could even fight for the lead with Ayrton Senna's McLaren Honda.
This is not as bad as some, but Alesi, of course, has got a fair bit of experience leading street circuit races last year in Formula 3000, namely at Pau and in Birmingham. Birmingham being a fairly similar circuit, nature of circuit to this one, and that of course will be standing in very good stead now when he's being put under this intense pressure by Senna, because believe me, it's very difficult for somebody breathing down your neck, especially somebody with the name and reputation of Senna in a McLaren. And Senna has made it alongside, he's won the corner, and look at Alesi, that's cheeky, isn't it? Senna was a little bit sloppy, and Alesi's back in the lead. Fantastic stuff by Alesi, tremendous opportunist driving.
Ken Tyrrell wanted Jean Alesi to stay for the 1991 season, but meanwhile Alesi was already busy signing some new contracts elsewhere.
Rumours over his future had reached fever pitch at the Hungaroring. The offers from Ferrari and Williams were well documented, but the young Frenchman had been alluding to an option from McLaren. Not so, said Tyrrell.
Yes, I'm sure that Jean Alesi will be driving for me next year. In the words of President Bush, watch my lips.
Ken Tyrrell was wrong about that. Jean Alesi went to the Scuderia Ferrari instead. And who could blame him if he could drive a car like this? The Tyrrell drivers for 1991 were Italian Stefano Modena and the Japanese driver Satoru Nakajima. In the previous season, Tyrrell used Ford D4 V8 engines. The Ford D4 had about 620 brake horsepower. For 1991, McLaren switched to the newly developed Honda V12 engines. It was arranged that Tyrrell could use the old Honda V10, but remember that this Honda V10 was the championship winning engine of 1990, so expectations were high at Tyrrell for 1991. The Honda V10 had about 700 brake horsepower. The first tests with the Honda V10 engine were at Silverstone and Jerez in early 1991. After pre-season testing, 1991 started at the street circuit of Phoenix, Arizona. The next few minutes you will see a compilation of the Tyrrell Honda in action during the year. So sit back, relax and enjoy the film.
Pulling away a little bit, and there is Stefano Modena, another Italian in the Tyrrell, now of course with the V10 Honda, the same Honda engine that powered the McLarens to the World Championship the last 2 years, is now sitting in the Tyrrell there, much to Tyrrell's happiness, I'm sure. They've got some good sponsorship from the Braun people in Germany, and Stefano Modena is showing his colours this afternoon, hanging right in there in 9th place.
We have completed 14 of 82 laps as you watch Stefano Modena make his way around. The first time he came to Phoenix 3 years ago, he asked if he would be able to see Indians when he came here. And in fact, he can. Welcome to the West, young man. A lot of people think Stefano Modena, well, to put it positively, has his best opportunity ever. To put it negatively, has no more excuses. He's got a great Tyrrell chassis. He has that Honda V10 engine that has championship background. Everybody expects Stefano Modena.
Well, of course, it was the Tyrrell. There was this same chassis there. Chassis has not changed as yet, not significantly, other than to put the V10 engine in. Of course, it was the Tyrrell in the hands of Jean Alesi last year that was such a sensation here and on the streets of Monte Carlo when he battled every inch of the way with Senna.
Which has that distinctive anhedral front wing.
They are all in position now. 78 laps. It's a long, long time. A 2-hour race. Go! And away they go. It's a good start by Stefano Modena. All the rest of them is Senna leading. Modena second, Patrese third. Mansell is in 4th position as they climb the hill towards Massenet. Senna. Now, Ayrton Senna, Stefano Modena, Riccardo Patrese, Nigel Mansell, the first 4 as they exit the swimming pool down to the Rascasse, and you can see that as ever Ayrton Senna's trying to build up a lead, get a cushion. He's not succeeding at the present moment. It's very tight and twisty around here. In 5th position it's Alain Prost, who's come up from 7th on the grid, of course, with Nelson Piquet definitely being out of the race, and effectively there is only one McLaren left because Gerhard Berger is right down the field. He's got going again at the back of the grid. So, Senna, then Modena, Patrese. The first 3 are breaking away from Mansell 4th on his own. And Andrea De Cesaris in the Jordan Ford using the same type of engine as the Benettons, but not quite such a good specification, is well up in the race. And into the 2nd lap, Modena is still within a second of Ayrton Senna. There they are.
Yes, and we might say that on the face of it, there is good news in that Senna is not walking away from the field and at the moment making it look like a race. However, I remember 2 or 3 years ago here, or not even as long ago as that, he had crossed behind him when they were teammates. He knows there is no hurry, and I'm quite sure he's driving well within himself.
Nelson Piquet has gone out with rear suspension trouble. Oh, I presume he hit something, but whatever, he's out of the race. Gerhard Berger has gone into the pits to change his front wing.
Honda still staying very well with Ayrton Senna. The question is just how much is Senna keeping in hand. I'm sure he's keeping some, but Patrese is having to work to keep up. There's no doubt that Modena is having his pace dictated by Ayrton Senna ahead of him. It's not intelligent to drive closer than Modena is to Senna for 2 reasons. One is that on a circuit like this where accuracy is absolutely paramount, when you're following another car closer, you can't be accurate. You cannot see the landmarks, etc., and where you're going. Your view is filled by the back of the car and the big rear wing of the car in front.
Down into the corner comes one of the Tyrrells. That is Stefano Modena, who had such a great race at Monte Carlo 3 weeks ago until the engine suddenly let go late in the race. Took out himself, Riccardo Patrese, and the 3rd car. I think Mark Blundell in the Brabham also slid on the oil from the Tyrrell Honda of Stefano Modena and took him out of the race as well.
The Tyrrell Hondas, of course, having the V10 power that took Senna to the World Championship last year, and of course Prost the year before that. A tremendous power unit for the Tyrrell team, and they've gone very well this year. Not quite as well as people thought that they would go, though, I must say, overall. Next year, changes in that team. It looks as if Satoru Nakajima is going to retire. He's decided he's not too keen on all the extensive travelling for Formula 1, and so there'll be lots of people lining up to drive what is potentially one of the quickest cars out there.
Modena in 5th place. Good position to pick up points for Ken Tyrrell's team.
It's amazing, actually, that his engine blew up just 2 weeks ago at Monte Carlo and took Riccardo Patrese out on Honda oil, and then, hey presto, the other morning, the same thing happened again to Riccardo, so he was getting just a bit leery about Honda oil on racetracks.
It is Mansell, Patrese, Piquet, Alesi, and Modena as you watch a boat make its way through the St. Lawrence Ship Canal. We'll be right back.
In the final standings of 1991, Stefano Modena finished 8th in the Drivers' Championship, while Satoru Nakajima was placed only 15th. In the Team Championship table, Tyrrell Honda finished 6th, which was lower than expected at the beginning of the season. The main reasons for Tyrrell's disappointing performance in 1991 were as follow. The poor Pirelli tires. For 1991, Pirelli did not give Tyrrell the amount of support like they did back in 1990, because the Benetton 4 team was Pirelli's #1 team in 1991. Also, 1991 would prove to be Pirelli's final season in Formula 1 that decade, so development of the tires fell behind the Goodyear tires used by the other teams. A difficult 1991 chassis. There were some difficulties with the design of the 1991 chassis. The Honda V10 engine was heavier than the Ford D4 V8 engine used in 1990, which resulted in a 1991 car in which the overall weight balance was flawed. Tyrrell did not succeed in fixing the car's inherent handling problems. The design staff left the team early. The 1991 car was designed by Harvey Postlethwaite and Jean-Claude Migaud. However, early in the 1991 season, Postlethwaite went away to the newly formed Sauber team, and Migaud went to Ferrari. This had a negative effect on the technical knowledge and the morale within the Tyrrell team.
Shut up and let me drive. Clear the hairpin. And here comes Nakajima just entering the hairpin. And as he exits the hairpin, Kondo is still not in sight. Now we can see them both. He's gaining quickly on Kondo. Nakajima in blue and Kondo in red. Look at how the distance opens between them. Here, Nakajima goes into the pits for his tire change. And he's now exiting the pit. Nakajima is now exiting the pit. Kondo is again at the Degner. Now Nakajima is just entering the first corner. Good. Can't see Nakajima not feeling good. Nakajima is concentrating on his driving. Nakajima just coming out of the hairpin.